So today we start with the next topic and the first one for the second term. And what I plan to do today is the two jump statements followed by the while loop or vice versa. Maybe the while loop first and then I move to the jump statements. Okay. Now, when I talk about the loop structures or the loop statements available to me with the Python language is we have done one is the for loop and the other one which we talk about is the while. Okay. Now, what is the difference or why do we need two loop statements for that? What is the reason behind it? Let's quickly discuss that part and then we start with the main setup. Now, what we have learned is that basically my loop is nothing but a set of statements which is repeating itself, right? I have the conditional statement, which is if. So therein I am having my statement checked, my condition checked, and based on that, a particular set of statement is either executed or not executed. That is how the if works, right? Now we talk about the loop, and in loop we have learned in the for loop very specifically that I give him a set of statements to execute, and that is to be done a particular number of times, which is my loop. Now, what is happening here is that in the case of for loop, I am telling him that how many times the loop has to execute. That is why I call my for loop statement to be a counting loop. Okay, we have discussed that and we have seen multiple examples of loop construct also. And here we find that in the case of for loop, my specific range tells me how many times the loop has to execute. So basically my loop construct in for gives me this set of values. Now this set of values I can give myself also, you can see here, or I will use the range function to generate it. So the number of values range generates, those many number of times it will execute the loop. That is my counter variable will pick up those values and execute the loop, those my number of times. Now sometimes what happens is I am not able to judge that my loop will run how many number of times. For example, I'm saying that keep on accepting numbers till the user is not giving a -1. Now, the user might not give -1 till 100 numbers, or he may give -1 the very first time, or he may give -1 in after 10 numbers, after 5 numbers. So, I don't know how many times my loop should execute to accept the numbers, right? Acceptance is one aspect of the question. Second is then you do whatever you want to do with those numbers. But the first thing is that in order to write the loop, I don't know how many times my loop will execute. Or I say that it is something like a choice based. After doing one set of execution of one set of statements, I ask him, do you want to continue? If he says yes, I continue in the loop. If I say no, if he says no, I stop. Ab isme bhi I don't know how many times the loop will execute because it can be once, twice, thrice. I don't know that. Okay. So when this kind of a situation is happening, I'm going for a non-counting loop, and that is possible with my while statement only. Actually, while is flexible. It can work for a counting loop also. It can work for a non-counting loop also. But for is only meant for the counting loop. This kind of a variation was not, demarcation was not there in the other languages when we used to do it. But here in Python, we have that. Okay, you've understood the non-counting and counting story. Now, as such, when I talk about a loop, there are these three things which are mainly designed to be put at specific positions in the loop statement, and accordingly the loop will execute. First is that I take a variable which will do my counting, and that variable is to be initialized with some value. Start from 1, start the counting from 1, start the counting from 10, start the counting from 100. So that is my initialization of my counter variable. Second is when you start the counting, you have to stop at a particular point of time. So I'm going to give that stop value also. So continue with this particular thing till the value of I is less than, or my counter variable's value is less than 20, less than 40, more than 80, whatever. That is my condition, which I call as a test expression. And then in order to make that variable reach from 10 to 100 or 10 to 80 or 80 to 10, I have to change that value of I. जो हम range में step value देते हैं. So that is very important. Otherwise, the value of I will not change. Or the counter variable will not count only further. वो 1 पे है, काउंटर स्टार्ट हुआ है तो 1 पे ही रहेगा, या 10 पे स्टार्ट हुआ है 10 पे ही है, वो 10 से 11, 11 से 12 होगा, तभी तो वो 30 पे पहुंचेगा, अगर हमको 30 तक जाना है, राइट? So that is why that update expression of the step value is very, very important again. Otherwise, it becomes an infinite loop. Because वो 1 ही है, हर बार कंडीशन चेक हो रही है, is 1 less than 10, yes, 1 less than 10, yes, 1 less than 10, yes. तो वो लूप चलता ही जा रहा है, चलता ही जा रहा है, it becomes an infinite loop. So obviously that is not suggested. And the fourth thing which we need in a loop is, of course, what do you want to execute repeatedly, which I call as my loop body. So these are the four things. If I'm using it in a for loop, I need them. If I use it in a while loop, I still need them, right? So when I'm using while loop as a counting loop, how do I place these? So I've just converted a for loop example into a while loop so that you can compare. Now, what is happening here is that I am talking about execution of the loop, which is my printing of the number I, variable I, which has to, I mean, the range which I've given here, the number of times the loop will execute is based on this range. And the range says start the value of I from 1, go till 10, and every time increment by 2. So 10 will not be included. Usse kam tak by implementation of 2. So how will it work? I takes 1, then I takes 3, then I takes 5, then I takes 7, then I takes 9, and then it stops. That's how the loop works. Now, isko jab mujhko convert karna hai into a while loop, then what is going to happen is that I is the one who is counting for me. So I ka initial value kya hai? 1. So I put it here at this place, and this is my I equal to 1. Initialization of the counter variable. Okay. Next is the I has to execute till the value of I becomes less than 10. Till it is less than 10. The moment it becomes 10, it has to come out. That's my condition then. So I put it here with while I is less than or equal to 10. That's my test expression or condition, whatever you want to say. Okay. So while I is less than 10, I start and I execute my loop. Okay. What do I have to do in my loop? I have to do print I. So I've written print I. Then I find a 2 here. The importance of this 2 is that every time the loop is executed as one iteration, before you move on to the next iteration, change the value of I and increment it by 2. Why increment? Because it's a plus 2 here. So similarly, within the loop body itself, we can see the indent here. It's within the loop body itself. I have to change the value of I based on my requirement. And here is this what I called as my update expression. So update the value of I, then go up and then check the condition again and then continue, right? So you can see that for a counting loop where for option is there and my code can be completed in 2 lines, I'm unnecessarily writing 4 lines of code. Okay? So that is why I prefer a for loop for a counting loop, right? While loop can also be used, very well used. You can see here the same working which we have implemented. But I would prefer to use a for loop for a counting situation. For a conditional based situation where I don't know how many times the loop will execute, while becomes compulsory. Because then I don't have an option otherwise. Right? Now to understand that, see this kind of an example. Accept a number and print it till the user wants. Now this could have been like accept a number and perform the addition, like calculate the sum of numbers, n numbers, till the user wants. That might be possible. मैंने यहाँ पे sum वम कुछ नहीं किया है. I am just talking about accept and print, because my purpose is not to do show you the actual this thing, but my main purpose is to show you the working of while, right? Now, in this case, I have implemented this particular thing in a particular manner. There's one more mechanism which I'll show you separately as an implementation of while, which is very much used when we talk about मेन्यू बेस्ड प्रोग्राम्स, और वो हमें अल्टीमेटली प्रोजेक्ट वगैरह में चाहिए होता है, तो वो आना चाहिए। ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हमने एक सी एच लिया, द वेरिएबल इटसेल्फ आई हैव taken as ch. I've not named it as I because I want to make it look like choice. It's just a name, so you may take anything. And I initialize it to y. Just like कि choice मेरा yes है ना, something like that. So I have initialized it to yes. Now I come to the condition. Now condition में हम क्या दे रहे हैं, while the value of ch remains y. So to make the while loop execution start, I have to give the initial value of ch बाहर as y. अगर मैं ch को इनिशियलाइज नहीं करती तो भी ये लूप नहीं चलेगा, एरर दे देगा ch नॉट डिफाइंड। अगर हम ch को कुछ और देते हैं तो वो नहीं चलेगा। सो इट हैज टू बी बेस्ड ऑन योर कंडीशन इटसेल्फ that initially only ch is y, hence the first time the loop executes, क्योंकि condition true है, number लिया, print किया, now you take the input from the user. Do you want to continue? If he says y, because specifically I'm only accepting and working with y, that is also a constraint in my program because I am not checking for capital Y, small y, yes. I'm not restricting him not to put yes. I'm not doing all that. I'm keeping it very simple and straight. I am just asking him to put a y or a n. That's why I've given him this particular description also. ठीक है, तो अगर वो y देगा तो ch will get the value y. Loop का indentation खत्म, it goes up. And then it says, is the value of ch y? Yes, it is y. तो वो अंदर आ जाएगा, अंदर आके फिर नंबर लेगा और उसको प्रिंट करेगा और फिर चॉइस पूछेगा। ठीक है, so this keeps on continuing till the user keeps on pressing yes. The moment he says n, you are out. We'll take the value of ch, which will be n, वो ऊपर जाएगा। देखो एग्जीक्यूशन का टर्मिनेशन हमेशा कंडीशन से होता है, until unless you use what I'm talking about as the break and the continue statement, जो flow को change करता है, otherwise it is going to work from here only. So ch will take, go up, check, अगर वो n है तो कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गई और वो लूप के बाहर आ। ठीक है, show me a thumbs up that you've understood this part. I'm waiting for your thumbs up. Great, Vani is wide awake. What about others? Ahana, Bhuman, Natik, Bhuman, thank you. Natik and Ahana also. Okay, thank you, Natik. Great. Ahana, any doubt in this part, beta? Anything you want to ask, you can. Okay. Otherwise, we proceed. Now, in proceed concept, I am going to first tell you another example as my usage of while. ठीक है, उसके लिए I'm directly taking you to ideally and we'll write a small program जो हम कर चुके हैं first term में, but we have done it without a loop. The normal ones like, take two numbers and work like a calculator, that you accept plus minus multiplication division में से कोई भी option and then perform that and then again continue. हमने single time करा, we have not done it in a repeated manner, so let's try to do it in the repeated manner. तो उसमें मुझे एक concept आपको समझाना है which will be easier for me to do it. Now, my purpose is, I hope you understand the question, so let me have it here. Menu based calculator. Okay, that's what I want to do. So what is my calculator saying? My calculator is saying print. अब इसमें हम लोग एक दो चीजें सीखेंगे, so that's why I'm writing the thing not in the correct sequence. अभी मैं समझाने के लिए इसको ऐसे लिख रही हूँ। तो यूजुअल मुझे जो उसको मेन्यू डिस्प्ले करना है, प्रिंट मेन्यू, then print add. Okay, let me have the option like this so that I can accept in the same manner from the user. Similarly, I'll just do it for 4 options, maybe add, multiply, divide, and remainder. Okay. So this is addition, subtraction. Third is your multiplication. You can simultaneously do with me also if you want to. And of course, I need one exit because it's going to repeatedly execute. So बाहर आने का भी ऑप्शन होना चाहिए ना. ठीक है. Now अभी मैं loop नहीं डाल रही हूँ उसके अंदर. So I've displayed the menu to him once. Then what do? I take the choice. So my choice is the number what I'm accepting. So I do an integer conversion. Input. Enter the option. Okay. Now I do if ch equal to 1. Okay, it's all 2 number based thing only. So I may initially only take the number. Okay, or you may do it even before the menu thing. पहले ही नंबर ले लो बिकॉज इसमें तीनों ही चीजें. और एल्स यू डू इट इन द चॉइस कि अगर हम वो वाला क्वेश्चन करेंगे लाइक इस तरह का करेंगे जहाँ इनपुट विल वेरी. Like we had done a question where we had said that calculate the area and perimeter of a rectangle or a square or a circle. There the input will vary. If the user is saying me circles, I will ask for radius. If the user's choice is rectangle, I'll ask for length and breadth. है ना. उसमें चॉइस के अंदर ही करेंगे. यहाँ पे तो I'm just taking 2 numbers and doing it. So I am doing it beforehand itself. So let my A be a number. Similarly, B be a number. And then I display him कि तुमको क्या करना है ना. दोनों numbers ले लिए उनसे. Then I display him कि क्या करना है. अच्छा. So if my choice is 1, I'm directly doing it. I'm just trying to keep the code simple. I'm saying print A plus B. Otherwise, if my choice equal to 2, then we print A minus B. If my choice equal to 3, then I print A into B. Okay. Now, if my choice is 4, which is my last else, rather 4 or any other number if the user by mistakenly enters, I should exit my loop. A loop nahi hai, but I'm still putting that statement, which is a break statement. Okay, this way we just get an idea about the break statement also. So break basically terminate कर देता loop को. वो condition पे वापस नहीं जाता. वो जहां पे भी उसको break मिला वो loop से बाहर, उस particular loop से बाहर. Right? हमें और कुछ नहीं करना. मैंने print ऊपर ही कर लिया, so no problem. Now, but I want this entire code to repeat based on, I mean rather indefinitely till the user presses an exit. हम दोबारा नहीं उसको पूछना चाहते डू यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू. वो चलता रहे ऑटोमेटिकली एंड जब यूजर 4 प्रेस करेगा तो वो बाहर आ जाएगा. ठीक है. इस सिचुएशन के लिए द बेस्ट कोड पॉसिबल इज अ व्हाइल ट्रू लूप. व्हाट इज दैट? व्हाइल ट्रू. Okay. Now what happens is when you do something like this before, I mean later, अब ये जो सारा कोड है इसका इंडेंट हैज टू चेंज बिकॉज ये व्हाइल के अंदर चाहिए मुझे. तो उसके लिए देयर इज दिस ऑप्शन व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज इंडेंट माय कोड. तो एक एक लेवल इंडेंट, अगर आप 3 बार दबाओगे तो 3 लेवल इंडेंटेशन हो जाएगा. बट आई वांट अ सिंगल ओनली. सो आई गो सेइंग इंडेंट. So the whole code gets indented. That's one thing I want to show you. That's why I started writing the code ulta. Okay. Now what does this while true mean? अब अगर हम एक while loop पे जाते हैं, we are saying that this condition has to be true. If the condition is true, the loop executes. If the condition is false, the loop stops its execution, right? Now, मैंने permanently इसको true कर दिया. तो जब भी वो loop में ऊपर जा रहा है, उसको condition true ही मिलेगी. हम कोई condition check ही नहीं कर रहे. हम उसको बोल रहे भाई true है, तुम चलते जाओ. Right? So, true मिला अंदर आ गया, true मिला अंदर आ गया. तो बाहर कैसे निकलेगा? बाहर का भी ऑप्शन होना चाहिए. बाहर वो तब निकलेगा जब वो ब्रेक को एनकाउंटर करेगा. दैट मीन्स व्हेन द चॉइस इज एनीथिंग एल्स अदर देन 3. दैट इज हाउ वी हैव रिटन. I've not given any condition here. So अगर 1 है तो ये करेगा, 2 है तो ये करेगा, 3 है तो ये करेगा. Other than that, if any input comes to him, he will come out of the loop. This is a very, very typical code which we need, the structure of the code for any menu based work. Okay, so that is why we have to know this while true loop also. Otherwise it gets difficult there. अब यहाँ पे choice का कोई role ही नहीं है, because मैंने choice as such, you want to continue वाली कहानी मैंने करी नहीं, है ना? You can implement it like that too, कि एक बार execution के बाद वो यहाँ पे आके पूछे. जैसे ये इसको कर दे वो invalid. एक बार हम इसको run कर लेते हैं पहले, just to show you what I'm trying to say. फिर उसको हम उस वाले फॉर्मेट में भी चेंज कर देंगे जैसे हमने वो पुराना वाला वाइल एग्जांपल देखा. So both ways are correct, nothing like that. But I feel that this option should also be known to you. So I'm just naming it Y1. I'll share these codes in the group, or maybe I copy it in a Word document and put in the GCR only so that you have it with you for later reference also. So this is my number. He asks me, what do you want to do? If I'm saying I want to do the second option, he did that. And वो वापस चला गया देखो लूप में ऊपर, है ना? वो अगले दोबारा मुझसे नंबर मांग रहा है 4, 5. Suppose I'm saying my choice now is 3. ठीक है, वापस चला गया. सो दिस कंटिन्यूज. अब जब तक आप उसको 1 2 3 1 2 3 में चलाते रहोगे वो चलता रहेगा. When I want to come out 4 and it's out. Supposed to show you the screen properly. Why isn't it that it's come out? That's amazing. Wow. ये तो आज तक मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ. Oh, this is enter a number. मैंने option में 3 दिया, sorry. Okay, this is it. My option में I have to give 4. Sorry. I thought I'm giving it in that. Okay, now this is a problem then. अगर मुझे करना ही नहीं था तो I should have taken the choice numbers के पहले ही. You know, when you execute, you get to understand क्या गड़बड़ होगी. So यहाँ पे it should be after the choice I should accept the numbers. Isn't it? Do you get my point? अब जब मुझे उस ऑप्शन में करना ही नहीं है तो why should I do it? I believe पहले ऑप्शन ले लो फिर उसके बाद नंबर लो. That will be a better thing. अब वो फालतू में नंबर लिया, मुझे करना नहीं है उसके बाद. सो आई एग्जिट मीन्स वो बाहर आ जाएगा. सो चॉइस पे जिसके बेसिस पे आपने ब्रेक को एग्जीक्यूट किया है, व्हेन यू डू दैट इट विल कम आउट ऑफ द लूप. ओके, नाउ दिस इज वन तरीका. द अदर थिंग व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल यू इज द व्हाइल चॉइस थिंग. उसमें हमने क्या बोला कि हम एक वेरिएबल चॉइस में ऑलरेडी एक वाई रख लेते हैं पहले. देन आई आस्क हिम that please continue the loop till the value of choice is y. Okay, first of all, it should not be, I'm using 2 choice variables. Let it be choice 1. Because नीचे एक और choice है. ठीक है? Now I will take this because I found it a little odd. I shouldn't have done it here. I take this and do it after the menu. पहले मेन्यू दिखाओ उसको. अगर उसको एग्जिट ही करना तो वो बाहर ही निकल जाए, है ना? So पहले मेन्यू दिखाया, उससे ऑप्शन ले लिया, उसके बाद हम यहाँ पहुंचे. इनसाइड. और हमने बोला भाई अब मुझे नंबर दो. अगर तुम्हारा चॉइस 1 है तो, और आप प्रिंट करो इसको. अगर चॉइस 2 है तो भी ले लो. ओके, एंड देन यू डू इट. चॉइस 3 है तो भी वही करो. This further indentation because of if. One is while का indent, another is if का indent. Okay, and now अच्छा, now instead of one is your this fourth option which is also one way of coming out of the loop. ये भी आपने उसको दिया और उसके बाद आपने उसको एक ये वाला ऑप्शन दिया. I am asking him CH1 में input whether you want to continue on. Okay, so that is a y or a no one, so no conversion required because it's a character input. I will say input, do you want to continue? So in this case, I'm giving both the options. You may not give both the options. You may take out the exit wala option and you keep this option instead. वो भी हो सकता है. I may just remove exit from here कि मुझे exit का option देना ही नहीं है. Like this, I want to ask him every time कि आपको continue करना है कि नहीं करना. So that also might be the case. So this else is removed completely. And he comes and asks you, do you want to continue? So यहाँ से loop चला जाएगा ऊपर. Right? अगर यूजर ने n दिया या कुछ और कैरेक्टर डाला तो ये कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गई, वो बाहर आ जाएगा. इफ नॉट तो वो yes अगर दिया है तो वो वर्क. लेट्स एग्जीक्यूट इट एंड आई होप आई हैव नॉट डन एनी मिस्टेक इन दिस. फर्स्ट द ऑप्शन, सो I say add, enter the number 2, 3, 5. Do you want to continue? Yes. So this is another way of implementing the same thing. But either of the two you should be confident in, because when you work on your own code, आपको देखना है which one you want to apply. Somewhere that might be applicable or more suitable. Somewhere this might be applicable or more suitable, right? So it's completely your wish. I said no, I come out. Okay. Now I have rewritten the code like this. I've changed that code. I should have taken a screenshot of it earlier. Anyway, I'll write it again and share. Am I clear with this? Is the while loop and its usage clear to some extent? Quickly answer, beta, so that I know that you are there. Just say a yes or okay, fine. Your thumbs up will also put. Now, while this is the basic understanding of why am I using while. Though I don't go in the AI syllabus, we have a lot of things more to do. We don't really go much deeper into the codes of while, but I believe you people are good enough. So I want to give you some more codes to try on. Okay? मैंने दूसरे सेक्शन में नहीं कराया मेन सब्जेक्ट से बच्चों के साथ, but I believe you can handle it. So I'll not take much time with it. Let's do a few more questions. Okay? Which are interesting ones. Now, supposingly, I have ये तीन तो we had done, so let's do first that. Let's do these questions first. Okay, chalo. ये तो we have done. Factorial. You all know we have done it with the for loop. 4 का factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. You all understand that. Okay? Or you may implement it as 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Same. Now I ask you factors. We talk about now factors and multiples. Multiples also we have done. We have done the multiplication table. We have individually done multiples. I had given the multiples question in the paper also. So I hope you understand multiples means जो मेरे को multiplication table में जो value दिख रही है, those are my multiples. ठीक है? So factorial, multiples, and now the third thing is factors, which I'm talking about. Right? So I am just going to pick up the factors. So if I'm saying 15 as my number, the factors are 1 divides by 15, 3, it divides 15 completely, 5, it divides 15 completely, and 15. ठीक है? So these are my factors. कि कौन सा number 15 को completely divide करता है, that's my factor. So I am talking about print the factors of a number now in this question. Print the factors of a number. Okay. Now in this case also, I'm going to use a for loop as of now. We may use a while loop also. I'll give you this code. You can try converting into the while loop on your own. That will be something good too. So I take the number. Because इसमें मुझे पता है कितनी बार लूप चलेगा. कैसे? मुझे उसको चेक करना है. कब तक? जब तक नंबर नहीं मिल जाता. So I have to keep on dividing that number starting from 1. 1 से डिवाइड करो, फिर 2 से डिवाइड करो, फिर 3 से डिवाइड करो. कब तक करते जाओ? ये तो अनलिमिटेड नहीं है. जब तक नंबर है तब तक करना है. 100 दिया है तो 100 बार ही चलेगा लूप. 15 दिया तो 15 बार ही चलेगा. तो इसमें मुझे पता है लूप को कितनी बार चलाना है. Hence for loop is suggested, but I may do that with while loop also. So you do try implementing it using a while loop too. If you are unable to, then you definitely can ask me. Enter a number, which is done. Now, my point is that I am supposed to run my loop to divide every time. How many times? N times. 1 से लेके n+1 तक, so that वो n को भी divide करे, n को भी use करे division के लिए. So for I in the range of start from 1, go till n+1, increment by 1, which is default, and a current. अब करना क्या है? If this number gets completely divided by I है जो 1 से लेके n तक वेरी कर रहा है ना? कंप्लीटली डिवाइड के लिए क्या होगा? रिमाइंडर 0 आना चाहिए. रिमाइंडर कैसे चेक करेंगे? मॉड्यूलस. तो जब मैं n को I से डिवाइड करूं और उसका रिमाइंडर चेक करूं, अगर वो 0 है, if it is 0, right, then I say that it is a factor. What is a factor? I is a factor of n. So I will print the value I. And it continues. It keeps on moving. पहले 1 के साथ चेक करेगा, फिर 2 के साथ चेक करेगा, फिर 3 के साथ चेक करेगा, जो भी आपने नंबर दिया उसको डिवाइड करेगा इससे. अगर वो डिवाइड हो गया, my factors. Right? You may do this with a while loop also, no problem. So factor, enter a number 15. 1, 3, 5, and 15. Right? Next one, we modify this question and say that I want to have the sum of factors. I have a reason for that. I don't want to print them. I want to have a summation of the factors. Or you may have a count. Let's have a count of the factors. I have a reason for having the count of the factors. So I'm saying print the total number of factors this fellow has. This number has. Total number of factors of a number. I am putting a comment around this entire code so that I only execute the second part. Multi-line code is a savior for me here. Now factor निकालने का तरीका तो सेम है. मुझे इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रिंटिंग मुझे काउंट करना कि पहला फैक्टर मिल गया, दूसरा फैक्टर मिल गया, तीसरा फैक्टर मिल गया, है ना? तो उसके लिए वी टेक अ वेरिएबल जिसके अंदर हम सिंपली ऐड 1 करते जाएंगे. s इज इक्वल टू 0 इनिशियली. जैसे ही फैक्टर मिला, I would increment it by 1. S is equal to s plus 1. इनिशियली फैक्टर नंबर्स काउंट उसका 0 है. जैसे ही पहला नंबर मिला, मुझे फैक्टर मिला, I made it +1. सेकेंड फैक्टर मिला, जब भी I डिवाइड हुआ, मेरा ये एक और फैक्टर ऐड हो गया. जब भी I डिवाइड हुआ, एक और फैक्टर ऐड हो गया. So by the end of this for loop, I will have in S the total number of factors for my N is S. Let's try this out also. I have to work on one more variation based on the similar code or similar lines as we call it. Let that be 15. So अब इसका count of factors कितना आना चाहिए? 4. 1, 3, 5 and 15. ठीक है? And because the factors are more than 4, I'll call it a composite number. So अगर मुझे इसी question में variation करना है to check whether the number is a prime number or not. Now that you people will tell me, what change do I have to make in this code? Check whether a given number is a prime number or not. Prime number का criteria क्या होता है? Check whether a number is a prime number or not. So what is my condition for that? Let me remove this thing so that I have it here. कितने factors होते हैं prime number के? You all know that.
And one and the prime number itself.
So how many factors?
2.
2. Correct? तो मेरा यहाँ पे sum आ गया. I have the, as per this code, I have the count of the factors. Count होके तुम बाहर आ जाओ. Count करके बाहर आ गए. Instead of printing the number of factors, what I have to check is that is my factor count 2? If it is 2, so if I'm saying if my value of S is 2, that means what? It is a prime number. है ना? अगर वो फैक्टर के काउंट 2 से ज्यादा है, then I would say it is not a prime number. So with the same logic, we were able to actually implement three category of codes rather. Else, print. The other category is composite numbers. So that is what it is. Okay. Now let's check for once or twice that how many kind of whether a number entered by me is a prime number or not. Let us execute this code. Okay. Enter a number. Let me give us 7. 7 is a prime number. I got it. अब हम एक नॉन प्राइम को भी चेक कर लेते हैं. Let me say 16. It's a composite. Okay. So all this will help you to understand one particular set of working जिसमें I can easily find out the factors. Now उसके basis पे you may have a lot of things. You can have, I want to know the number of even factors a person has. So I को निकालो, I check करो, जब जैसे ही वो factor मिल गया तुम्हें, I is a factor here, मतलब यहाँ पे you have to check whether I is even or odd, है ना? So फिर उसको count करो, otherwise मत करो. So even है I तो ही count होगा, वरना नहीं होगा. So you may have the count of the even factors of the number, right? So with the same logic, you may have more number of questions or concepts which we can learn in this, right? So this is how we have some variations of, some questions based on the loop concepts which we have to do, which I covered up in this session. I need one more session to carry on with a few more things. Okay, so I'll just close and we'll join back again. Thank you.